Apex Online Racing Hype Energy F1 2018 League. I'm Luke Etheridge and I'm joined today by Alex.
Hello everyone, finally here for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Better late than never. Welcome to, as Alex has mentioned, the Chinese Grand Prix, the third race of the season. Quite an interesting track. Anywhere you're looking forward to today? What do you think the action will be?
From watching from the sidelines from the past 2 weeks, I think there's going to be a lot of battles, maybe some contact in some places, but hopefully there won't be on purpose, of course.
Yeah,
But
never
there's going to
never
be
good.
a lot of action.
Yeah, very close field, of course. Last week there was over 10 cars separated by half a second in qualifying, so the 18-minute qualifying session could definitely be one to watch. So far, we've had two different pole sitters and two different winners. Slimbo Dude took the honours in round one in a very close battle with Vic Star, with Jon Palainen winning last week in Bahrain, just managing to hold on despite his penalty. So will we see a third different pole sitter and a third different winner? We'll know any time now. For those not familiar with the format, it is an 18-minute qualifying session followed by a half-distance race. So today there will be 28 laps around the Chinese circuit here in Shanghai. 16 corners, 2 DRS zones with the huge straight all the way from turn 13 down to the hairpin at turn 14, where most of the overtaking will be. Is it one of your favourite parts on this track to overtake? I know I certainly try and get a few cars down there.
Ah, my favorite would be the second DRS straight before that very, very tight turn after the DRS zone, of course,
Mm,
before the last corner.
yeah,
Such a lot of battles, especially most famous from the real F1 season, with Max Verstappen and Vettel taking a bit of a hit.
yeah.
Uh, so we
That,
could
yeah.
hopefully we might see something like that.
Vettel's had a few hits round here, but this was, of course, the track where the torpedo was born. Daniel Kvyat taking
Uh,
out Sebastian Vettel on turn one, lap one. Hopefully, we won't see any of that today. Always spices
Hopefully
up
it's
the
not a Red
action.
Bull thing.
No. Must be sick of the sight of Red Bulls. Although he did get his first win here in 2009, did Vettel, in a Red Bull. So it's a track that's got good and bad memories for the German.
Yeah,
I know it's a
it's a
bit
great
clunky.
track.
Yeah, lots of good overtaking opportunities, but it's going to be very important to get the exits of, as you said, going onto that main straight. If you get that exit right and you're behind with that long DRS zone, you're going to be in a prime position to overtake. So don't be surprised if we see a few cars dropping back to try and ensure they're behind the car going into that DRS zone. I know that's a trick I've employed previously.
Especially with the first turn,
Mm,
where Kvyat did a bit of a mistake, and Verstappen, I mean Vettel, went a bit of rary and blamed Kvyat with everything, as the famous torpedo caused an accident there, like
mm.
always. But since now he's back in 2019, it's gonna be different there. But now we're
Yeah,
just talking the 2018 season now.
very interesting to see Kvyat back in the Toro Rosso. I'm sure he didn't expect it this time last year. Maybe it's a ploy for Verstappen to win. He's famous for winning when Toro Rosso dropped Kvyat.
Hmm. And it seems that people are slowly getting ready. There's only 6 drivers, not the admin, but
Just
taking a while.
getting ready, psyching themselves up, I'm sure, for the qualifying session ahead. Could be quite an important qualifying. There's three types of tyres that are available for the drivers this weekend. We have the softs and the mediums, which we saw in Bahrain, but this time it is the ultra soft tyre, the one that you are most likely to see used in qualifying. And strategy could be very important. The top 10 having to start on the tyres that they qualify on. So would you rather be at the back of the top 10 with the forced onto the ultra softs, or would you rather start 11th for 12 and have the free tyre choice?
Mm, I would like. I come sometimes like to do a free stop or two stop because I like to be safe. Because once I did a one stop on China and right on the final lap I had a flat tire and managed to not win the race, which was a bit of a shame.
Mm.
Back in my prime, um, but but now so that's why I'm going for maybe for two stop instead of a one stop here,
Yeah, one stop was
which
the winning
could be.
strategy in Bahrain, but had quite a lot of tyre management by the winner. Qualifying will be starting any moment now. See which of the drivers can do the best over the next 18 minutes. No eliminations, just as many laps as you can in the 18 minutes, and the fastest driver will get pole position.
Here we go. I think everyone's just deciding on their tire allocations, hard, balanced, or soft,
Mm,
and that's the hard choice as well, especially in China, with all
yeah,
these turns and very nice straights. And it's just so tricky to decide, especially on this
yeah.
track.
One of the challenging corners on this track, I feel, with worn out tyres will be the pit lane entrance. We're
Of
pushing as
course,
hard
the
as
pit lane.
possible into there with worn out tyres. Could see some interesting action. Lewis Hamilton in his debut season found out about that when his tyres were worn well past their best as he found his way into the gravel and possibly cost him the title in his debut season. The qualifying has begun. None of the drivers so far rushing to get out of the pit lane.
Just loading up their setups, which
Yeah,
might take a while depending if they get it, if they have saved it, of course, from their time trial practices
yeah.
throughout the week.
Drivers will have probably gone through a lot of practice, as we mentioned earlier, tyre strategies, finding out what's the best setup. Do you go for lower downforce to ensure you're faster on the main straights, or put a bit more wing on the car to be quicker through sectors 1 and 2, which are quite tight and twisted, to be fair?
Yeah. And we have a few drivers on soft tyres according to this. We have Slow Dude and Pedro on soft.
Yeah,
We have a few drivers out on ultra softs as well at the moment.
The ultra soft goes 2 steps softer than the soft tyre, so expect quite a big time difference between the 2 sets of tyres. Pole position in the earlier Formula 1 race was a 1 minute 29.2, so expect any times in the 1 minute, low 1 minute 30s. That will be a very handy time and will possibly secure pole position. Going on board now with Randy Thompson as he takes his first outlap onto the track. Have to be careful on the outlap. Yeah.
A lot of drivers are now ready to go out as well with all their setups finalised and everything. And another Ferrari is coming out. That's 007 Professional now officially going out. Just going to wait for a few more drivers, and that's going to be everyone.
Last week we did see a few drivers wait right until the end, Picard late, who's not been able to make the session. Didn't actually set a time in qualifying. That didn't affect him. He ended up finishing 4th in the race. Two drivers now getting ready to start their first flying laps. Already we're seeing lock-ups from a few. Cam came on running wide at the end of the hairpin, pushing as hard as possible to get a good start as that will go on board with the Toro Rosso. Had a difficult start to the championship so far.
So we have the McLaren pushing a 2:23 in sector 2.
Yes, going on board with McLaren now. Randy looking, as he heads round turns 9 and 10, trying to get a good exit here. Braking hard into turn 11. As mentioned earlier, one of the important corners is to get the long run out onto the straight, and this very long right-hander is going to put a lot of pressure on them left-hand tyres. They're probably going to be the ones that are wearing first throughout this race. of the longest straights you will see on the season. The next race in 3 weeks' time also has a very long flat-out section. Randy Thompson pushing a bit too hard there, running wide at the end.
And our first qualifying time's about to come up.
1 minute 31.0. Quickly beaten Jockey and Geordie, 1:30.2. And they're all going faster. All 11 snatchers. Provisional pole position now. So plenty of time to improve for the McLaren of Randy Thompson. R11 hoping for a better start to the race than last weekend, where he was involved in an accident on the start line, forced him to pit, finished down in 15th place and retirement in the first race. He has said this is a track he is looking forward to, so hopefully he'll be able to do much better. Anyway, you think a lot of time can be made unless throughout qualifying? They'll be pushing as hard as possible into the braking zones, but with no anti-lock brakes, exceptionally easy to lock a wheel and run wide.
There's a few people going into the pits, not making their time, must have had screwed up somewhere.
Yeah.
Or maybe also must have had a declined lap. Sometimes you can go extending track somewhere, like around one of the corners, which I hate, which is the second last corner, of course, after the DRS zone. I usually accidentally either extend or corner cut from that, because it's really tricky to nail that corner every time, because it's a really harsh braking zone as well. It makes me think of Abu Dhabi and the first DRS zone there, because they have both have in common with a very harsh braking zone after the DRS.
Yeah, it's quite easy, as you mentioned there, to lock up and run wide, but that is what makes it so good for overtaking. The heavy braking zone, see who dares to break the latest. Advanced Apple seems to run for 2 laps on his super soft tyres. Can't see them being good for 2 laps, to be fair, and especially with the ERS. A lot of the drivers will be taking it very steady through the first part of the track from that to ensure they've got enough deployable energy for the long straights towards the end of the lap. So we're a third of the way now through the qualifying session. All 11 with provisional pole, Jock and Geordie and Jon Palainen second and third, and Randy Thompson and 007 Professional rounding out the top 5.
Pretty intense as well. The top 4 is less than a second behind, but with Jock and Geordie 68th of a second away from Aaron.
Yeah, Jock and Geordie was very, very quick last week. It was the fastest of all the drivers who did a 2-stop strategy. Now go on board with Professional. He heads into the pit lane. Difficult pit entry, as I mentioned. Not as hard now that the gravel trap has been removed, as well as Lewis Hamilton. Past the Maldonado, another driver who ended up in there.
And we have one of the Saubers now on the track making a flying lap around China now. Schnitzel, if I'm correct, if I said it right.
Yeah.
Currently
heading round turns 7 and 8. Very fast left right hander, important to get these 2 right. Interesting race this season here where Daniel Ricciardo ended up winning, thanks in part to a safety car, in part to his teammate hitting Sebastian Vettel. And as we mentioned earlier, tyre strategy is all important, and that was what helped him to win as well. It's true, mate, you don't need the fastest car in a straight line to be successful here around the Shanghai International Circuit, a track which made its Formula 1 debut in 2004. One of the new breed of tracks, and an interesting fact, that track is shaped after the Shang symbol in the Chinese alphabet, so interesting to have a circuit named after shaped after a shape of the alphabet. Couldn't see that happening with the English alphabet. Tracks would not be that interesting, I feel. So 1:33.5 from Schnitzel, 10th place at the moment. So Hilo, the fastest driver at the moment on the soft tyres. Be a huge bonus for the race if you can stay inside the top 10 on those. Only 3 drivers left now. Okay.
Just looking at John Polainen, who's about to start another flying lap just at the second PRSO. Could happen any time soon.
He's weaving his way down the straight, getting some temperature in those tyres. Important balance to find between getting the tyres and brakes as warmed up as possible, but these ultra softs are so fragile, you don't want to wear them out too much, especially if you're having to start on these tyres. So follow Jon Polainen around for his lap. Heading into turn 1, all nice and steady. Very easy to run wide around here and lose a lot of time. Seems to be really clean so far. Heading now towards turn 5, favourite overtaking spot of Ricciardo. Could we see a few moves there during the race, you reckon? A few last ditch attempts. Flick the car through turn 7 and 8.
Jon Polainen's doing a really good lap at the moment, in sector 2 at the moment right now.
Running as wide as he dares through there, keeping it well within the track limits though. Oh, slight lock up into there, but still seems to make the apex. It won't affect him too much. All-11 improved slightly, 130.007.
Nearly on point to 130, that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, less than a second off the F1 guys.
I think now to officially beat his time, you need to get a 129 to beat his time now.
Yeah, or Jon Polainen with the first into the 129s.
I think that's the only way.
It's an improvement. 130.4, but it's not, only keeps him in 3rd place for now. Still tough to handle Pedro and Kalayander, yet to set a lap time, although Pedro is out on track in the Red Bull at the moment.
Got his time too.
Just heading towards the hairpin. Locking up that inside right tyre, common theme with all the drivers, pushing as hard as possible out there, lighting up the rear tyres. Looks to be a good large challenge. 135.5 for Pedro. Quite a few drivers filling up that gap now between Jon Polainen and Professional, over half a second between the two. Expect to see the field close up in the final 6.5 minutes qualifying for round 3 of the Apex Online Racing League. Make sure to keep in contact with us either on Twitter using the hashtag AOR Hype or commenting on the YouTube feed.
We have Tough to Handle, who has just started his flying lap, maybe for the first time. Hopefully he does good here, especially maybe, depending how good he can be in that Mercedes, could be able to beat the 130 time that Aaron has set.
Going to be difficult with Tough to Handle on the soft tyres, however. Judging by the time so far, soft seems to be around 1.5 to 2 seconds slower than the ultra soft. 2 steps between the tyres, so much more durable, but give a lot less grip over the 1 lap. And Joe Breezy is 131.9 on the mediums. It's an interesting tactic.
Third place, I just realised.
Yep. Tough to handle, trying to get a slipstream there from one of the McLarens. Getting very, very close in a straight line. I'm not sure that's the smartest tactic. Any little advantage will help. Let's see what he can do. Had 2 fairly good races so far. He's finished in the points both times, and it's ninth tough to handle, 131.863. Fastest of those currently on the soft tyres. So 4.5 minutes remaining, and your top three, all Evans, still on pole, has improved his time slightly to rule 130.0. Jockey Geordie 2 tenths behind in second, with Vic Star a further tenth behind in third position.
I think everyone's just doing some few finals before everyone goes out. Well, everyone might not go back out because I think they've just done enough.
Going for their one final one, or perhaps electing to save tyres for later on in the race.
So we have a few on softs, but at the moment Tough to Handle is the fastest on the softs as well, and Tequila just went wide.
The Tequila in the McLaren. We're hoping for a good result this weekend. Got his first points of the season with an 8th in Bahrain. Blocking up both front tyres there. You can tell how hard he's pushing. Perhaps an element of that having. Oh, he's gone wide. Doesn't go any faster. May have had his lap time deleted anyway. He's ran very wide coming out of that final corner. Kanko Yanda at the moment, the only driver not to set a time. Perhaps an intentional tactic, wait at the back of the grid and see what happens going into the first few corners.
Well, a lot of havoc usually happens in the first corner, especially in the other league that I raced sometimes. In a week-to-week basis, a lot of havoc does happen in the first corner, especially with this many of drivers.
Yeah, this many drivers. It's a fairly standard-sized run into the first corner, and the way it tightens can lead to quite a few different lines all converging into one for the end of turn 2 and 3, so that could be perhaps where the action is. Yellow flags in all three sectors briefly appearing there, just showing how hard the drivers are now pushing to try and get that final qualifying lap time in with 2 minutes to go in the session. Moving on board now with the Haas of Jockey Geordie. He's beginning to finish his out lap. Missed the first race, but was very impressive last time out in Bahrain. Led quite the way. He was one of the fastest drivers. His 2-stop strategy was not quite enough to beat Jompalainen's 1-stopper, finishing less than a second behind in the end once penalties were taken into account.
We have Jockey Geordie starting his last lap of the quality section, as I don't think he has enough time to do another lap, so this could be his one shot to get pole now. As this is the closest.
Yes, all the drivers will be approaching the final laps now. Very, very clean through there. No real movement so far throughout the field as we move into the last half a minute. So we'll see times lighten up. The time is being soon. Tough to Handle and Tequila have decided enough's enough. They're happy with the times they've set on the softer tyres. They're looking to see where it starts them. Probably weren't expecting to get in the top 10, to be honest, with the softer tyre.
Dropping Geordie into the secondary arrow zone, and well, in my opinion, the worst corner.
The 210 mile an hour there, down to 40. See him locking up, but don't think it will have cost him too much time. Checker flag has waved, so this will be the final lap. Can Jockey Geordie do anything to stop all of them? No.
Not in time.
30.3. That is
It's all up to Vic Star now, as he's also doing a flying lap. There's a lot of people doing flying laps now, as it's now the end of the quali. It could be up to Victor or Lion now.
Vic Star now approaching the hairpin in the Ferrari. Much cleaner than Jock and Geordie, no lock-ups there. Cleaner does not always mean quicker though. Final corner coming now. Will he be able to do anything to top pole away? No. 131.0. None of the drivers really setting the times alight so far at the end of qualifying. The yellow flag in sector 3 as well, that could ruin the final laps for quite a few drivers. John Palainen. Yeah. Very close there.
Last minute improvement, of course. And it has to be Jopalina who extends his lead to second.
Yeah, it'll be his second consecutive front row start of the season, but it's not enough to stop All-Ireland taking pole position. He said on the forums that he was a fan of this track, and it's proven to be the case so far. All-Ireland first, Jon Palainen second, Jock and Geordie in third, Vic Star and Pedro round out the top 5. Current championship leader Slimbo in 7th position.
This could be one of the most competitive races. Well, one of the most competitive rounds here, especially with Aaron saying that this is his favourite track, of course. But Jon Palainen, second place, and very, very close to beat Aaron's time, but still doesn't beat him.
Yeah. Whether he'll be more comfortable with the car in a higher fuel road, we will find out any minute now. Drivers just readying up, waiting for the 28 lap race. So 2 stops, you feel the most likely strategy for those in front?
I think it's going to be Aaron for the win, I think.
Yeah.
He did, it's his favourite track after all. I mean, look at his time, nearly 1:29, but I think he's going to stay where he is, but there's going to be a lot of fight for the podium, especially with other great drivers out there, especially with Slimbo down in 7th. Could make a massive improvement, especially with the race strategies that everyone has.
Indeed.
And also the time management too.
Yeah. Gigio Breezy, tough to handle. Just a couple of the drivers at the moment who are on the soft tyres, so it'll be interesting to see how long they can go at the start and possibly turn this into a one-stop race. Quickly go through the championship standings after just 2 rounds. Slimbo Dude has a 1-point lead at the moment over Jon Palainen. Vic Star in third, tied with Advanced Apple on 20 points, and Geordie is in 5th place after gaining 18 points from the last round in Bahrain. All-Ireland will be hoping for his first points of the season. He's down in 18th at the moment, a retirement in the first race, and 15th in Bahrain. Be a massive turnaround in fortunes from the last 2 races, but we have seen Powell take the victory the last 2 times out, and he'll be hoping to make it a hat-trick here.
This is very close.
Yes.
The table is very close, especially with a 1-point lead. I know it is just the start of the season, we're on the 3rd round, but I think when we get to season break, that's when everything gets a bit competitive, especially what happened in the real F1 world between Vettel and Hamilton. But but in this world, this is a different story. I mean, Renault's now taking a pole. I mean, and a Williams is second, which you don't usually see.
No. I may have predicted at the start of the F1 season that Renault would get a win, this season. I clearly was on about esports. That's what I meant, not real Formula One. Williams have announced George Russell as one of their drivers. How do you think they'll do on the third bit on the grid next season? Expecting big things? Drivers coming around now, lining up to start the race, getting into their grid slots, setting up the car,
Yes.
setting up the AOR, the fuel for the run at the first corner. Can't win the race in turn one, but you can most certainly lose it. The lights coming on. 4, 5, and we are racing here in China. Clean getaway from everyone, and it's good getaway from all. Aaron comfortably takes the lead, going around into turn one. Few shuffle back, but seems that everyone has got through fairly clean. One of the Toro Rossos, I actually believe, running wide there.
Pedro just had a lightning takeover with one of the Ferraris, Vicstar, having a battle over there, which having amazing time there.
Yeah, wheel to wheel as they head down towards the hairpin at turn 5. Pedro nearly going into the back. We see Professional squeezing past Slimbo, tried to get 2 in 1, and that's helped Frankie Thompson stay in 6th position. All the action seems to be happening in the midfield. All Aaron building up a lead on lap 1. Jon Palainen still second, Jock and Jordi third, and Pedro fighting all over the back of Vicstar.
And Tequila had a lightning start as well, gone up 3 places already, which is an amazing start, especially in the McLaren.
Contact. Sorry to interrupt there. Pedro and Vicstar, contact between the two of them. Doesn't seem to be any damage though. Front wing change at this early stage could make the race strategy quite difficult indeed. Oh, few cars running off wide in the background. That's an interesting line from Kano Yanda and Cam Kevon.
Kilo's going, having a move on the Force India G. Joe Breezy, and an amazing move here, especially in this corner, going around the outside. But I think Tequila might use it, a bit of contact there, and Tequila gets it. Amazing
fantastic move there. That's round the outside, not waiting for the DRS to be activated. Getting early on, hopefully he can build up and catch Slimbo. So the end of lap 1, All Aaron leads, Jon Palainen second, Jock and Jordi third, Vicstar and Pedro just behind for 4th and 5th. Gap already forming between the top 3 and the rest of the field.
And we have Jock and Jordi fighting for second against Jon Palainen, finding ways to overtake him. Could go around the outside, could go around the inside, but unfortunately it's not time to overtake yet, especially with no DRS enabled. It's going to be very tricky for him.
Probably thinking better of it around there. Very difficult to overtake through on fast corners. As you said, probably thinking it's better to wait for an easier opportunity. Is he going to get one here? No, stays behind, going onto the long back straight. All over the back of Jon Palainen. Yeah. This is of course allowing All Aaron to get away. He's got a 1 second gap, which will be vital next time around with the DRS being activated. Surprised they didn't get closer. Jon Palainen must have got a fantastic exit, but runs wide slightly. Things staying as they are.
Jock and Jordi making the fastest lap so far with 135.3.
Yeah, using the grip of the multiple tyres at this early stage. Those they will wear out very shortly. Possibly 5 or 6 laps expected for the length of the first stint. Oh, slight wobble there from Jon Palainen. Jock and Jordi can't quite take advantage of that. Tries to sell the Finn the dummy, but he's too wide for that. He's probably many drivers attempt that to him over the years. All Aaron still in the lead. Jon Palainen and Jock and Jordi, as you can see, battling for second and third. Vicstar just over a second behind, with Pedro further behind him. Friendly Thompson, Professional, Slimbo, Tequilo, and Gigio Breezy currently round out the points.
And we do have a few fights happening at the back from 12th to 15th. We have a lot of cars less than a second behind themselves. A lot of DRSs happen here in the second DRS zone.
Talking of the DRS zone, Jon Palainen having to go defensive here early on. Using the DRS of all Aaron, though, that's perhaps negated the effect of Joaquin Jordi, who's going to have to settle for third place for now, although it's got a good run on the exit there. He'll be on the outside for the final corner. Is it possible? Today to the pit lane.
Ooh.
I thought he'd done it there. But already seeing early pit stop, so Jon Palainen having the lead. 3 cars at the moment pitting quite early, would you say?
A lot of people drive. Yeah, I think fourth at the end of the third lap. That's a bit early, especially going on to softs too. So they might go into ultra softs right at the end, maybe in the last around 15 to 10 laps, depending how much wear they have on the tyres and how they can manage them in the late race.
They're possibly too early for the one-stop strategy. We've just seen Professional take third place away from Pedro at the moment.
There is a big fight for maybe a podium between Pedro and Professional. Slimbo could do a double as well, because Slimbo is actually 5th place and also way less.
Pedro running wide there. It's given Slimbo a chance before we've even got onto the main straight. Tequilo's also got past. Good job.
Oh my goodness.
And Tequilo, 5th place at the moment with the soft tyres.
Tequilo might go for another one. He's going to get greedy and going to take Slimbo. Oh, amazing.
Comfortably done there by the McLaren.
Oh my goodness me.
Oh,
contact there. Oh god.
That's allowed at advanced apple.
Oh dear.
Up into 4th position. Oh
dear, I think that was contact between Tequilo and Slimbo.
Yeah, it was mentioned this pit being very difficult, of course. Slimbo going
I have no
straight
idea what happened
on.
there.
I think confusion there between drivers wanting to come into the pit lane and those carrying on. Quite a big difference in braking. That has dropped Tequilo down to 9th place at the moment, but as we look to the front of the race, Vicstar has done very well over the last few laps, catching up now to Jon Palainen in the Williams.
And I think after that incident, I think Tequilo has a front wing damage. I can't really see properly, but in his point of view, I think I kind of see damage on the front right.
You'll be hoping that's not enough to force him into a pit stop, starting on the soft tyres. I've been hoping to go quite long on those. Vicstar now all over the back of Jon Palainen, heading towards the long main straight in the DRS zone. The Indian won on track in the first race, but penalties cost him. He's going to be very, very close here. Jon Palainen goes very defensive. Vicstar to try and force a move round the outside. Is it on? He's held on. He'll have the inside for the next corner.
Oh, that was an amazing move. And there goes Jon Palainen into the pits as well.
That is Vicstar, the only remaining runner on the ultra soft tyres. So the order so far: Vicstar, Advanced Apple, and Tough to Handle, your top 3. Be interested to see where Jon Palainen comes out in comparison to those who've already pitted, of course.
We have maybe an overtake happening soon from 5th to 4th. Bayrak, I'm gonna call him so I can understand that. Could overtake Breezy at some point soon. Nearly overtook him in the first corner, but unfortunately hasn't made that move just yet.
And both of these catching up to Tough to Handle for the 3rd podium place. Channel Yanda just behind as well.
A lot of drivers still need to go in the pits. I think it was a bit early for the oops, what am I saying? Aaron and
Geordie.
to go first as well, because they both went a bit early, if I was correct.
Pit stops seem to have worked out well for Frandy Thompson, though. He's ahead of Jock and Geordie now, and John Palainen after being behind on
That's
track.
quite impressive.
Seeing a movie on Kanoyanda in the DRS zone behind Mehmet. Down the inside. Oh, contact ahead. Joe Breezy hits the back. They're tough to handle. The closing speed there probably caught out the Sauber driver, giving the benefit of the doubt. It's carrying on though, so it's clearly not too damaged. Yes. Vic starting, so Advanced Apple takes the lead.
Going for the inside goes King Leander. Perfect overtake, but still, Breezy's not going to give up. Very close, but Breezy still takes it.
He falls around the outside. Is Kanoyanda? Is there anything he can do around there? Hold off, good defending from Breezy. This is allowing Schnitzel to catch up. In a four-way battle at the moment. For third position. Schnitzel there just taking Bayrak. Ran wide slightly through the fast corners. So tyres at the moment. Vic Starv and Jon Palainen of the early leaders have gone for the media. Is that an attempt to get onto the super soft, the ultra soft, sorry, at the end perhaps? All-Lemon in 7th place after starting on pole after the pit stop. 4.3 seconds behind the battle you are currently watching. But in the lead is Advanced Apple, tough to handle, and Kanoyanda. He's already got past Joe Breezy and will have the DRS, so he should hold on to this position quite comfortably now.
Breezy goes for the inside as well. Could anything or any contact happen? I'm not able to do. And Breezy takes it back, especially from that slipstream he just had.
Power slipstream versus DRS there. So close between the three at the moment. The Haas sandwiched by the Salvers at the moment. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh, Schnitzel could have made a double, but doesn't want to risk it, especially in his first corner.
Fastest lap from Jock and Geordie, 1:34.9. Getting the soft tyres working well at this early stage.
There was a tyre-to-tyre contact between the two Saubers, but I don't think there was any damage. I think it just had a bit of contact, but I think I see some nose damage on Breezy.
Yeah, another slight tap there as well. From Bayrak on Breezy. We're very interested to see how this works out and who will be the first to stop out of these 4 cars. You'd expect Bayrak to be able to go longer on the medium tyres. And All-Lemon will soon be at the back of this battle. It's just 1.4 seconds behind now. He's built up a 6.6 second gap over Geordie.
Schnitzel is heading for his next target, which is Kino Leander in the Haas. Getting DRS in that as well, which is a big upgrade there in that zone, but not just getting there just yet.
Bayrak in the background, retaking the place from Joe Breezy. All this defending helping Aaron catch up. 6 cars in view there. Schnitzel going for the inside on Kanoyanda.
Oh, amazing overtake.
Yeah, kept it clean. Spoke too soon there, possibly.
Oh. Almost touching. Could have nearly spun Schnitzel off as well, especially from the almost in the rear as well.
First penalty of the race goes to Slimbo for multiple warnings. Championship league are struggling down in 15th place at the moment.
A lot of advantages happening for the Haas driver in 4th. Still touching Schnitzel's back of the car, but just not getting the corners right.
Did,
He
yeah,
is
perhaps
trying to make a lot of advantages here.
playing an effect. He seems to have built a slight gap over Bayrak and Breezy at the moment. As we go on board with the pole sitter. Hoping to move his way back up the field.
Slipstream plus DRS equals total domination into that really, really tight corner and just makes it look easy, but Breezy is also making it look easy to fight back.
So easy to run deep in that corner, and it does give the car behind a chance to cut back inside, and they will have the DRS, of course, going down this straight. One of the features of this track, which means battles run on and on and on. Advanced Apple in the lead as we enter lap 10. 5 seconds now gap between him and Tough to Handle in second place, with Schnitzel leading this long train of cars. 5 cars involved now in the battle for third position.
I can tell there's going to be a lot of overtakes, especially with a lot of drivers less than a second behind, which could give them a DRS advantage, especially in the DRS zones. Especially for Aneliander, still behind Schnitzel, not giving up, but also for John Polina against behind Thompson in the Williams and the McLaren, which could give them a advantage for maybe a podium, because there's still a lot of drivers that still need to make a stop, especially ahead of Aaron and Jock and Geordie. There's 2 ahead of Jock and Geordie who needs to make some stops, and
So good teamwork there between Evan and Bayrak. The Turkish driver moving out of the way of his teammate, who has proved to be faster so far and is on the faster and fresher tyres, so decides not to hold him up. 2 Reynolds running 5th and 6th at the moment. There's a pit just ahead. Just a handle goes into the pits. The first driver on the soft tyres to dive into the pits on lap 10. Joe Breezy follows him as well. Another penalty for Pedro there, multiple warnings, gives him a 3-second time penalty. Probably very close at the end of the race. We've already seen in race 1 Vic Star won the race out on track, but only just held on to second place after penalties were applied, and Jon Palainen ended up finishing less than a second ahead of Jock and Geordie last week. Now looking at Jon Palainen, catching up to Frandy Thompson in the McLaren. 2 great names of Formula 1. McLaren and Williams, both struggling now. Hopefully it won't be long before they're back to their former glory. It's going to be quite tough around these corners for the Williams to stay in contact with the McLaren. He's on the harder tyres, so theoretically should have less grip at the start of this battle, but expect him to close up the longer it goes on.
we do have a few. We have a battle for 14th right at the back between Tequila and Breezy. I think Breezy did take a stop for a new front wing as well. So it looks like they're going to both fight it out, especially after a tyre and front wing stop. But I hope they can both get back to where they were.
Yeah, leader has pitted as well. Advanced Apple in the pits as well. So is Schnitzel. Moves all Evan up to second place. So Cano Yanda in the lead at the moment with the 2 Reynolds, second and third.
This could just one more pit stop, which is Calayanda who needs to make a pit stop, and then Aaron gets his place back. There'll be 1-2 podium at the moment for both Renaults.
8 laps on his soft tyres. Most drivers pitted after around 10 or 11 laps on them, so it won't matter be long before he pits.
Anytime soon. And Palainen still pushing to get to Frandy Thompson.
was close enough to stay within the DRS zone, but not really close enough to mount a proper challenge into the hairpin. See both drivers locking up there, pushing as hard as possible to try and catch up to gap as well to Vicstar in 5th place, just coming through your shot there. Van Stappen coming out in 9th after his pit stop. Schnitzel in 11th, just outside the points. John Polana goes for it down the inside.
Oh, did he get it? I think he did get it.
Comfortably. Oh, Canoyanda pits and a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
That's going to be a bit of a trouble if Canoyanda makes another pit stop.
Gone onto the medium tyres, perhaps that was a part of his thinking there. Shouldn't have to pit again on them.
Hopefully.
11 still in the lead. Mehmet 2nd, Jochen Jordi 3rd. Mehmet still to stop, of course, out of the top few drivers at the moment. Still a close battle here. Frankie Thompson still close, and we have our first retirement of the race. Camp came on, has retired.
Must have not had the pace to get to Breezy, unfortunately, because I did see right at the start that Kaimum had a bit of a problem, as his pace wasn't really good, and I think that was due to problems.
Did run wide early on. It's been a tough start to the season for the American. They'll be on no points after the first 3 rounds. Hopefully the break will do him some good. Seeing back around the Van Stappen there, having a move on Pedro. Toro Rosso getting past the Red Bull and moves him up to 7th position.
Looks like they'll both be switching cars anytime soon.
Aaron in the lead then, 2.2 seconds ahead of his Renault teammate Mehmet. Jochen Jordi just 1.3 seconds behind. We're going to go now to the American in the Haas, pushing hard, locking up there into turn 5. Bayrak could prove to be a good wingman here if he can hold the Haas up. Sure, if Valtteri Bottas is watching, he won't be a fan of that turn. If you are watching, Valtteri, feel free to let us know how you feel. Hashtag AOR hype. I'm not sure if any real F1 drivers have commented on us on the AOR streams before, but this is the first time for everything.
There's always a first time for everything.
Pass from this far, that would possibly be a first time. Jochen Jordi quite a long way behind the Renault. Possibility into turn 1 perhaps.
I do see another fight about to be happening soon. Tough to Handle and Slimmo Dude about to have a fight soon, as Tough to Handle could have a DRS activated here, and has, after being less than the second time, especially with Slipstream as well. Could go through the inside, doesn't have the right braking to reach Slimmo Dude, but could go through the inside here.
Yeah, Jochen Jordi's gone for an early second pit stop, so it's been interrupted after 11 laps on the soft tyres. That's the end of that battle. Perhaps he felt he wasn't able to get past Mehmet early enough and decided to just pit. Coming out just ahead of this battle.
Oh dear me.
Oh! Contact there between the Mercedes and the Force India, but didn't seem to cause any damage.
It must have caused a lot of stir, especially with those cars having a battle already, with Jochen Jordi now entering the mix of those two cars having a battle. It must have made a manic in the first corner.
They'll lock up there from Tough to Handle at the rears on his medium tyres. Good job so far on the tyre management by Bayrak in second position. He's done 14 laps on the mediums. They'll be looking to push that as hard as possible, maybe for a super soft run at the end, the fastest lap, and if so, he could definitely be one to watch towards the end of this race. So running through the top 10, Reynolds 1-2 with Evan leading Bayrak, Victor third, Jompalainen in fourth, Advanced Apple and Frankie Thompson 5th and 6th, Pedro in 7th, Professional Schnicksel and Cano Yander round out the top 10 as all Evan pits from the lead. Covering off Jock and Geordie, perhaps, who else just pitted the undercut, very powerful with his new tyres.
Love to handle. Could make another overtaking the move, assuming Slimmer Dude just making a great braking zone there. Making a lot of advantage using DRS, and Slimmer Dude going a bit wide last corner.
It'll be interesting to see where all 11 comes out in this battle. We've already seen Jock and Geordie get involved, although I think the Renault is clear, only by about a second though. Seems just ahead there.
I just realised Bayrak hasn't had the stop yet.
It could be fun at the end of the race. He's done well on these medium tyres. Is that perhaps an indication of how far everyone else to take them? He was the only driver to start on that compound, which I thought was the wrong decision at the time, but he's still in the lead and seems to be coping well with the pace. The three cars behind him are also on the medium compound of tyre.
I think he's going to do what I think he's going to do. He's going to go on mediums until it's going to be time to change, and then when he changes, he's going to change to ultra softs, whilst everyone's going to be on softs and mediums, and make a lot of advantages out of that as well. But the only one disadvantage is the tyre where that goes really quick, especially on ultras.
Yeah, we saw earlier on in the race where they had heavier fuel. They only managed 4 or 5 laps in most cases. So he could still have quite a while to go, and as we're saying that, he's pitted. And tough to handle, tries to go around the outside. The Slim No Dude pulls it off. Very well done. 11th place now for the Mercedes.
Jock and Geordie actually caught up with Aaron, and about to go overtake him for 8th place. Yeah, 8th place because Bayrak's in the pits.
Oh, contact!
Oh my goodness me, this is very close indeed.
Cano Yander, Aaron and Jock and Geordie very close.
Oh, contact between two teams.
Rubbing again.
Both horses are now bullying the Renault as they just tried to knock him out. And that's
worked out well, but Jock and Geordie will be hoping to get past his teammates on a completely different strategy.
I think Cano Yander was helping Jock and Geordie to overtake Aaron there, I think.
And hindering his teammate perhaps slightly, lets him by there.
Oh, and there's a fight between two horses.
Cano Yander pushing track limits there. But Jock and Geordie, 7th position at the moment, and probably the provisional race lead. With everyone pitting quite early on, be interested to see if anyone goes for a one-stop strategy now. Jock and Geordie, 7th position, Victor leading, Jompalainen in 2nd, Advanced Apple in 3rd. Swap between the two McLarens further down the field.
And oh, Aaron could go for the overtaking Cano Yander, and does make it.
Squeezes Cano Yander to the edge of the track, maybe a bit of payback for the move at turn 1, and Cano Yander there getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I mentioned earlier on he was close to track limits, something you've definitely got to watch out for on circuits like this. Do you think it'd be better if there was some kind of natural punishment with like more grass runoffs perhaps, so you didn't have to take the risk of running off track?
Maybe.
Jock and Geordie now catching up to Schnicksel and Professional and dragging, so I say Aaron along with him. These two on soft tyres hoping to get past the two in front as quickly as possible.
We have Schnicksel trying to overtake Professional, as he has a lot of advantages. Maybe they're both on medium tyres as well. And there's Jock and Geordie taking
slight contact there, but
get a warning from that.
Was optimistic. He was quite a lot ahead of Schnitzel when the contact is made, and he's got a fantastic run now on professional. Does it well before the braking zone. 4th position for Geordie as Evan goes in the background. Thought there could be contact there.
Oh my goodness me.
As we expected, that hairpin providing a lot of the action here. Round 3 of the Apex online race in Hype Energy, the F4 League on the PS4.
We have a lot of advantages happening, especially between Aaron and Jock and Geordie. They're both on new softs, and the rest are on used mediums, which is going to be a bit of a fight. A lot of fights happening. And apparently, according to my screen, professionals on softs, but it's mediums.
There's some slight confusion there. Evan there goes for the inside on professional. Ooh, squeezes the Ferrari off track, and that gives Schnitzel a chance to get up to 6th place. Slightly unlucky there from the Ferrari driver to lose 2 places in 1 corner.
Amazing. So professional loses 2 places, as you just heard, of course. Schnitzel, I don't think he's going to reach Aaron, especially on maybe used mediums. I don't think he will reach Aaron, especially for the rest of the race.
Yeah. On board then now with the Renault of Aaron. Let's look at his telemetry. Using as much of the electrical energy he has available down this very long straight. Important feature of modern Formula 1 and of course the F1 2018 game, controlling your energy usage throughout the race, saving it for when you need it for attack or defence. Is that a feature you use often throughout the game? I know I've had quite a few accidents on tracks where I've been too busy changing my ERS settings and I've ended up in the wall rather than paying attention to where I'm going.
I use the ERS quite often. It's something I still need to get used to, especially in league racing. I know it's a great new feature, but now since with the ERS around, now you have to handle between the fuel usage and the ERS deployment, which makes things a bit more challenging.
Yeah, fuel usage, to be honest, not what I've majorly experimented with. Generally just keep that in a standard setting, and if I'm towards the end of the race, if I've got plenty of spare fuel, there is definitely no harm in just going for it. Reliability.
Kanayanda's right behind.
There's Kanayanda in the house. He'll be hoping he's on much better tyres than professional. And tough to handle as well in Mercedes.
Cars. I think we literally have a trainer cars from Schnitzel to tough to handle. And there's a yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, Slimbo 2. Oh.
Championship leaders retired. Kanoyanda goes for professional. He's very, very close there. Not really anything the Ferrari could do, as the Haas has DRS. Tough to handle, hoping to get involved in this battle as well. So we're down to 14 cars out of the original 16 starters here with 8 laps to go.
We still have a train of cars happening. I think Kanayanda's saying Schnitzel was next on this, let's get this. But professional's like, give me back that 7th place. He's still pushing.
You can't blame him for trying.
Yeah, and Tough to Handle was actually right behind saying, let me in. I mean, he's actually doing pretty well, especially behind professional with the slipstream and the ERS usage.
Slight record there from Kanoyanda as he catches up to Schnitzel. Out in front, we haven't mentioned these for a while, we've been too busy focusing on the midfield action. Vic Star, 3.7 seconds ahead of Jompalainen. Will those two try and stretch it out to a one stop? We saw the Williams driver do that last week to great success. Advanced Apple, just 1.2 seconds behind, and Jock and Geordie and Evan, the top two from earlier on in this race. Now, for Jock and Geordie has the lead, of course. Evan was on pole, 4th and 5th at the moment. The American in the Haas came close to winning last week, but didn't quite manage it. Tough to handle all over the back of Professional. I'm going for this in the DRS zone, surely.
Oh, nearly contact there. Overhand there,
Both
good
locking
luck.
up.
Oh,
Tough to
dear.
handle just went too deep. Time penalty as well for running off track. So what looked like an easy overtake has ended up costing him an extra 3 seconds. Tequila there with a 5-second stop-go penalty for exceeding track limits. Must have gone way, way wide.
We have Bayrak especially adding into this frenzy. It's both Professional and Tough to Handle still fighting. We have Bayrak trying to do no double overtake there, especially with those two. And
I'm going to go
Tough to
side
Handle's
by
going to
side.
get removed. Oh my goodness me, I can't watch.
Bayrak. He doesn't want to get too close in case he's too touch.
Way
Might
too
be best.
close.
Might be best just sitting back slightly here.
I think you should just sit and watch until it's the right move.
You don't wish ill on your competitors, but I'm sure you wouldn't mind if these two had contact. Tough to handle, running it wide over the curve there gives Professional a bit of a break. Anyone's guess who's going to be leading coming out of the hairpin here. Professional, Tough to Handle, and Bayrak. About half a second between them. The Renault already all over the back of the Mercedes.
Here we go. Free in the corner. Oh my goodness me, and lots of lockups there. Bayrak still doesn't.
Somehow.
I don't know how there's no contact happening. That's amazing.
It just shows the skill of these drivers. No contact. And somehow they ended up leaving that corner the same way they entered it. But Bayrak's got a good run there. Ninth position for the Renault. But
finally, he says.
Tough to Handle, living up to his name there. Good defence from the Renault. But fresher tyres, softer tyres, nothing the Mercedes could really do. He's still battling now, and this has allowed Kanoyanda to get away from the two. He's within DRS zone of Schnitzel, just up ahead. Another pit stop, Tequila at the moment. He's putting on the ultra soft tyres. Down in 14th, but he'll be looking for the fastest lap perhaps. Having some fun.
I think he will, especially in ultra softs.
Yeah. Having some fun despite being down at the back of the race at the moment. But out in front is Vic Star, 3.6 seconds ahead of Jompalainen. Advanced Apple now just a second behind the Finn, and Jockey Geordie 11 still remaining 4th and 5th.
And Bayrak getting another DRS and about
to
go
the view
on the
from the rear wing. Just getting closer and closer. Bayrak round the outside.
Oh my goodness me.
Contact, I believe they've got away with it. Bayrak still has the inside line now for the final corner. Does that, moves into 8th position. Tough to Handle, deciding which way to go. I'm not sure whether Professional was too busy there defending from Tough to Handle or attacking Bayrak. Always tough to prioritise which is the most beneficial choice of action when you're stuck between two cars like this.
I think it's Handle's turn to take over Professional, especially Tough to Handle and Professional still on warm tyres, but I still don't have a clue if Professional's on mediums or soft tyres. It's still yellow, but
19 laps seems fantastic for soft tyres. That's an unconventional passing place there from Tough to Handle. I wasn't expecting that. He's held on. Runs wide slightly, but holds on. But you expect Professional to try and just sit back, get him in the DRS zone, or maybe earlier. Oh.
We also have Advanced Apple taking the move on the jump. Jompalainen any second now, less than a second behind. Oh, nearly having contact there, but manages to avoid a bit of a damage there from his front wing.
And we're going into the main straight. 4 laps to go. Can Verstappen jump a line and hold on these worn tyres?
This
Jockey
could be
Jordi.
a winning last 4 laps.
Again, he's about 5 seconds behind. He was in a similar position last week in Bahrain and managed to get up to second place. He'll be hoping to go one better here today. Vixar leading, Jompalainen kept that gap fairly constant at 3.5 seconds, but Advanced Apple and Jockey Jordi now closing up on the Williams driver. And if Professional is on the medium tyres, 20 laps, it's not inconceivable that Vixar and Jompalainen can stretch it out by a lap or two further. Tequila with the fastest lap, as we mentioned, 1 minute 32.4. Shows how much different racing is now to qualifying. Our fastest lap, 3.5 seconds slower than the pole position.
Jordi gonna fight for the podium, right behind Advanced Apple, but maybe not. Oh, bit of early braking. Oh, contact! Oh dear! Oh no!
Jockey Jordi seemed to go for the move. Yeah. Seemed to go for the move, have second thoughts, and then have a third thought, and just chucks it down the inside. Contact there, be interested to see if the stewards have anything to say about that after the race. There's up to
Whatever Jordi did, that was quite aggressive. Quite aggressive.
Yeah. Perhaps.
I wonder if he actually has the Magnussen seat.
Perhaps now it might be better for Jock and Jordi to try and get past Jompalainen and get as far ahead of him as Advanced Apple as possible in case of any possible penalties. Yannick Gianella there agreeing with us, thinking that was a bit of a rude move. I'm sure Advanced Apple would have a few stronger words to say than that. He's very close now to the Williams.
Haas versus Williams.
Ferrari power versus Mercedes power, although all cars online are based on the Mercedes to give equal performance.
Well, here we go. Jock and Jordi might make a move.
See the DRS open. Gone for it early.
Easy.
Yeah, Jompalainen not bothering to defend there.
And there goes Jordi up into second place. Amazing move there indeed in the DRS zone.
Yeah, learning perhaps from last time. So 4 seconds behind, 2 laps to go. It's going to be a very tough ask for the Haas driver.
Oh, it's Tequila who's causing the flags.
So,
he's a bit slippery in some places.
Yeah, maybe he's already worn out the ultra soft tyres after setting his fastest lap. McLaren driver at the back, yeah, drifting his way around. Point.
Oh, we have Aaron making move contact. Aaron just made contact on Advanced Apple.
Advanced Apple, really getting involved here.
More contact happening on the Toro Rosso just earlier.
Seems to be attracted to the contact at the moment, but he's hung on to 4th place for now. Aaron trying to go round the outside at turn 10.
Oh dear. Looks like Advanced Apple's gonna have to defend this one as well, especially away on the pulse, who took pole today.
Kilo pitting again for I believe the 3rd, possibly 4th time. Yeah, with his 3rd pit stop. Maybe already worn out them ultra soft tyres. All Evan now. Advanced Apple goes defensive. Evans tries to go round the outside. In the Renault, does the switchback.
Makes it look easy there as well. And there's a free second point penalty for Advanced Apple for a common multiple warning.
Yeah, running wide there.
Must have been from track extending.
Yeah. That's a 6-second gap to Schnitzel, so that penalty shouldn't affect him too much. 1 lap to go. Vicstar leads 2.7 seconds over Jock and Jordy. You have to imagine the Ferrari driver, barring any accidents, has done enough now to take the win.
I think it has to take a bit of a miracle to get Jock and Jordy to win it now. Because I think all Jock and Jordy has to do is just pray.
He's got to hope something happens here.
I mean, Vicstar has been on those medium tires for about 20 laps.
So a mistake could happen. He's already gained 1.5 seconds on this lap, but it's tough to see anything happening. Quickly going on board with Kano Yanda in the Haas and Schnitzel there to battle for 6th place, the closest battle out on track at the moment between the Sauber and the Haas driver. But as we come now towards the end of the race, Vicstar 2 corners remaining. Tidy through the hairpin. He's about to come up to lap traffic, but shouldn't have any effect. He won on track in race 1, but penalties cost him and dropped him to 2nd place. He crosses the line.
An amazing win for him.
Vicstar wins. Jock and Jordy 2nd. Jon Palainen taking 3rd. Evan Advanced Apple rounding out the top 5. See some yellow flags.
After a late overtake, Kanayanda takes 6th and Schnitzel takes 7th, followed by Bayrak taking 8th and Tough to Handle taking 9th.
Frandy Thompson,
and that's
10th
top
place.
10. Frandy Thompson taking 10th place, and so that's our top 10 taking the points, if I'm correct.
Yeah, professional
Pedro,
Breezy and Tequila will be finishing an hour. But a great drive there from Vicstar to take the win. Lasted longer than anyone else on the ultra soft tyres. Managed them well, managed the mediums well, and that is a fantastic victory. Comment here from Swinbo, who retired. Said he's been making a lot of stupid mistakes lately and needs to do something about it in the days he's not racing, and he'll have a good chance now to rest 3 weeks before the next race. You look at the podium, Vicstar delight. It's been a couple of weeks since we've seen a Ferrari on the top step.
Yes, definitely, especially there's all the champagne, my favourite part of the after the race. Champagne, my favourite.
So the top 3 there, Vicstar, Jock and Jordy taking a 2nd consecutive 2nd position. Consistency can be key in races series like this. And Jon Palainen 3rd. The rest of the points, Evan, Advanced Apple, Kano Yanda, Schnitzel, Bayrak, Tough to Handle, and Frandy Thompson.
A lot of penalties for a lot of those drivers as well, but I don't think there has been any position changes due to those penalties. But I think it all depends now on Stewart's on the forums now, because I know I've seen some contact happening on Advanced Apple from Jordy as well. So it just depends after that race.
Jordy especially, it'll be interesting to see if the stewards make any comment on that. So, the driver of the day for today? Who would that be?
Who made those position changes? I'm gonna go for Kelayanda. Started 16th, ended 6th position. 6th, which is 10 places if I'm correct, which is an astonishing race for him.
Yeah, you've gone for a more left field choice. I think I'm going to have to just go for Vicstar. He's been very consistent throughout the series. Was a bit unlucky in Bahrain with strategy, but he is delighted, I'm sure, to take his first win of the season. So,
also made a perfect nursing of cars as well. Those tyres must have been exhausted, especially for around 21 laps.
Yeah, key to a modern Formula One, of course. Tyre management so important. So we leave you now after Vic Star saying he had 70% tyre wear. I've
Gee
done
whiz.
like I at 50% I'm struggling. So that is a fantastic job there to keep the car on track and to do a fairly consistent place. I mean, Jock and Jordy was only gaining about 2 seconds at the end there, even with the softer tyres. So a great job from Vic Star, who takes victory here in China for the third race in the PS4 F4 AFX Online Racing Hype Energy League. There'll be a 3 week break now. Next week is the US Grand Prix in the real world and the Mexican Grand Prix the week after that. So we will both see you in 3 weeks' time from Azerbaijan, Baku. Will we see a fourth different winner from the first 4 races? So it's goodbye from Alex.
Goodbye, Alex.
And it's goodbye from me. Thank you all for watching.